I'm Sonny Linson. I'm Jack Dempsey. I'm from Nairclaw. I'm ferocious. I want to eat their heart.
Darius Bazley, born June 12, 2000. In November 2017, Darius Bazley signed his letter of intent to play for Syracuse as one of the top high school prospects, actually ranked 17th overall by 247, and the number 4 small forward in the RJ Barrett Zion Williamson class. To many of his peers' surprise but support,
he told me about it, but I thought he was joking, and I was like, wow, like he was actually like telling the truth.
By March 2018, he changed his mind and announced he instead chose to become the first top high school prospect to choose the G League route instead of going to college. Or at least he was supposed to be before Jalen Green had to take on that responsibility because Darius Bazley actually backed out of it to sign a deal with New Balance to be an intern for them, marketing their apparel and digital footwear for a guaranteed $1 million that could have reached up to $14 million in performance incentives. So basically, leaving high school, he took a year off competition to work out by himself and got paid to do it in New Balance brand basketball sneakers and on-court apparel. Up to this point, I'm mostly not in disagreement with the moves made because I'm a firm believer that athletes, no matter their age, should be able to fully capitalize on financial opportunities because as athletes, you never know when those opportunities can physically no longer be available to you due to injury or stock plummeting because you didn't develop like expected. But personally, I think Bazley was collateral damage for the G League, who needed a top prospect from this era, especially that class, to make a move with them and boost their route to the league's popularity. Jalen Green would be what the picture was supposed to look like for Bazley, who at the last minute was courted by New Balance and convinced by the money to stunt his development even further. Along with being a supporter of striking while the iron's hot, I'm also one that believes in everyone around a prospect being honest with him and telling him he's not ready for such moves development-wise, hopefully convincing him to choose being a player who lasts when he gets to the NBA level instead of a player who had the right idea but went about it the wrong way when a certain amount of money got involved. Darius Bazley was a good high school prospect, but as a 6'8" center power forward that didn't dominate his high school class, leading to a top 5 ranking, no skill outside gifted athleticism he could lean on as an advantage on the highest level, and without the personality or following to ensure success, the wrong decision was made. It didn't completely turn out bad as he still made the NBA and played 4 seasons, but now what? He was recently waived by the Brooklyn Nets a few months after being signed and is now playing in the G League without a major payday or call-up in sight. What happened to the Trailblazer Darius Bazley? Let's talk about it. Salute to Corel Dozier 7655 for this request. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Darius Bazley is a 6'8" power forward center from Boston but played his high school ball in Ohio, first for Finneytown High in Springfield, then transferring after his sophomore D3 season to Princeton High School in Sharonville, coming in as the top-ranked player in the state. He rose his star ranking from 4 to 5 and decommitted from Ohio State and committed to Syracuse November 2017, looking for better competition on a bigger stage. Landing Bazley was like a whack-a-mole game as Syracuse lost him to the G League's new high school to NBA route, who then lost him to New Balance's cash-in-hand advertisement plan for top high school prospects. Stunt number 1, not going to college.
I'm not coming to Syracuse.
In the most obvious growth stunt for Bazley, him not taking the college development route was not the right choice. Not that the idea was off, but the player was not fit to succeed under the circumstances due to the player himself. Bazley at 6'8" on the NBA level playing the 4 or 5 was a disadvantage everyone involved should have seen from the beginning. He was athletic on the high school level, but if you look at his competition, he never showed he was one of the best of his class against the players ranked in the top 5 to 10. Admittedly, his highlights looked great, but avert your eyes to the players guarding him in those, and it's easy to see with the athletic gifts Bazley had, he was supposed to do the things he was. Were flashes of a really good player shown on that level? Sure. He he did become a McDonald's All-American and had 11 points in the game and 7 rebounds, more than Kobe White, Darius Garland, and Zion Williamson. But looking at his skill set, he still needed development of his ball handling, shooting, IQ that comes with time, and development of go-to moves he could use against guys on an NBA level that was sure to work with his undersized frame. Yes, he was a high flyer, but none more than Zion Williamson, who did choose the college route and thought Bazley was kidding with the news he was bypassing college. Personally, I think Syracuse was the perfect school for Bazley and would have given him a chance to prove for a consistent year on the same stage as the top players of his class like Williamson, Barrett, and Garland. He could stand out. For a player that much undersized, he needed more development with his ball handling, playmaking, and shooting, seeing as his advantage would have came with smaller positions like the small forward, where his 6'8" frame mixed with athleticism and developed skills could thrive. He was athletic, but he was no Blake Griffin, so he was never going to get by off leaping ability alone against power forwards and centers in the NBA. Jim Boeheim felt the exact same way and was criticized heavily for his statements that Bazley's decision would be proven a mistake. But he was right. Everyone around him overblew his potential, leading him to making a bad decision for his future. Stunt number 2, not playing in the G League. As far as development opportunities that would have given Bazley a better shot at sticking in the long run, he missed another great opportunity by not staying with his G League decision and sitting out the year. After hiring Rich Paul and talking with his family, Darius Bazley decided or was convinced that there instead was no upside in him playing in the G League. From their perspective, even if he plays well, they'll say he was expected to, and I completely disagree. How exactly is it expected Bazley play well against G League competition? Some of those guys are players sent down from the NBA for different reasons, and others fighting for an opportunity to even make the NBA. An undersized center power forward, 18 years old, with no specific translational skills other than catching lobs or dunks created for him, whose shooting ability was still in development, should not be expected to do much except develop on that level. The only real expectation for Bazley came because he was in position to go that route in the first place and had nothing to do with his skills, and that's the problem. It's hard to believe Rich Paul looked at Bazley and honestly thought him not only missing college development, but the G League readiness he would have gotten to sit in a gym with no challenge or expectations for a year would make him more ready to enter the NBA draft and have long-term success in the league. See also Kyrie Walker. Bazley went forward and entered the 2019 draft, selected 23rd overall by the Utah Jazz, traded to the Grizzlies, who then traded him to OKC. He averaged 5 points and 4 rebounds in 61 games his rookie season in 18 minutes per game. He did improve his second year, averaging nearly 14 points a game and 7 rebounds on a 22-win Thunder team. But as the Thunder got better, his role lessened and he was traded during the 22-23 season to the Phoenix Suns. Stunt number 3, player value decline. The thing about potential is if it doesn't pan out soon enough, the player can be placed in a position he doesn't receive further opportunity after many chances have amounted to less than expectations. Leaving high school, Bazley literally could have went any route he wanted to when it came to his final jump step to the NBA. Whichever route, whether it be going to school, G League, or sitting out altogether to work for New Balance, he was going to be given an opportunity to play in the league. First round picks for the most part receive at least 4 years to figure out the NBA game, and Bazley was no different. But now, after his multiple with OKC and time with the Phoenix Suns, not to mention the 2 months he spent as a net, Bazley doesn't have the same glow he did back then, as his skills haven't developed enough for him to be seen as priority over other projects NBA teams would like to explore. It's almost like the writing is on the wall for Bazley, and it's ready to be concluded that the Darius Bazley project won't be going much further than the point it is now, where he's fighting to make it back to the NBA. And if he does, a team has to realize his limits as far as adding significance to their team. He's played 3 games in the G League so far as of December 15, 2023 and had 15 points, 9 rebounds, 13 points and 5 boards, then 24 and 14 on 9 of 24 shooting and 0 of 7 from 3. Will this lead to another NBA opportunity? Possibly, even likely. But does he have the same value now he could have had he taken different steps to get where he did? Unfortunately, I don't think so. All in all, Darius Bazley bet on his path to the league, and he did make it there as a first-round pick. In my opinion, he would have been in a better position had he went to college initially, but who knows if he would have been exposed on that level and not even get the 4 years in the NBA he did. Solid talent that chose the money now and not the money after being developed and more ready for a 10+ year career. Instead, in 4, he's out the league. Salute, much respect, but for these reasons, his growth is being stunted. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out.